YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this amazing thing. If you like building bricks, LetBricks. Check out the links in the video description below. My son actually put this one together and it is fantastic looking. And we were just gonna show you guys this thing because we saw these, I've been seeing them online for a long time, and I grew up, let's just say, building similar brick brands, but not this one. This thing is amazing. I would have killed to have stuff like this as a kid, just like the RC stuff. Look how stinking gorgeous this is. If you want to show us some key principal features, one feature, not quite 100% sure on, but this does fold. Now, let's talk about the nitty gritty.
Yes.
So, what was your biggest takeaway on this model?
The decals were different than what I'm used to. They were more of a vinyl decal.
So and they're two-piece.
Yeah.
Here's an example of a decal. It's bridging among a grouping of bricks as well, correct?
Which is unusual for the ones that I have installed.
Yeah.
Some of them did not have instructions to install at all.
And so you were surprised by the decals, but the actual build went super smooth.
Yes.
And the fitment was good, but not maybe as good as some other competitive offerings.
It was on the tight side.
It was on the tight side. Now, tight is not always bad, people, because when you have this many stacks, you need it to be tight or it's gonna look bad. Now, also, this is not a Technic set. This is actually a decoration style set. And that's what's so cool about this. Happens to be a Rio Bricks kit from LetBricks. They're selling it. So if you follow the link, you'll support us if you buy from the links in the video description below. This is 2,248 pieces, guys.
Yes.
You'd have to remortgage the house to get that from some of the other competitive brands. And there is a plethora of different amazing aircraft, which is one of the things that's lacking in competitive brand field, okay?
And he did really like the way that the instruction manual was set up, and the way that all the pieces were bagged. And you'll see that in our unbox, we kind of showed you how
we show
it was laid
more
out.
of that. We're just introing here with the finished kit, but this book is fat.
Yes.
And very well designed, and lots of good, clear instructions on everything except for some of the decals. Now, admittedly, opening doors, closing doors, spinning props. This thing barely spins, just so you know, but it looks like the blades do pivot a little bit.
Yes, that's just how it had to be built.
And that's the way it was built,
being 7 blades.
So if you guys want more sophisticated, more detailed, and more choice, check out LetBricks. Yeah. This is an example of some of the decals, just so you can see. It's a 2-piece vinyl stick down, right?
Yes.
So you stick that down and that peels away, correct?
Yes. You push it really hard, then you peel off the clear part.
Yep, and then you're left with what is similar to like a water transfer decal. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. The fitment was the biggest disparity between other brands we've worked with, right?
And between the pieces themselves.
Yeah.
Like these tiles specifically on the blades were very tight.
Very tight. And so like not good tight, bad tight. They did come with a little tool for removing, putting together. Did it work? Was it helpful?
I did use. I made a mistake. I put something in there. It was hard to get out. It helped me get it out.
Tool, nice and sharp.
I used that a couple times.
So that is a lot of bang for the buck, guys.
Yes.
And knowing from, I mean, I grew up, I had lots of brick kits and they weren't this brand and they were expensive. I would have killed for this type of kit because there are so many of them. And there's also a lot less piece count if you want them. You don't have to get huge piece count kits where you have a literal novel in instructions, okay?
And they have bigger piece count kits
that are way bigger.
In the 6,000s.
6,000s. It is incredible. So even if not for just sheer curiosity, you should check out the link, go look what they have, and they're always revolving new stuff in as well, which is really cool because it's rare that we're gonna get a new one in some of the other more popular competitive brands. So keep that in mind when you're putting these up against your competitive brands, okay? I do really like the fact that we're getting helicopters, airplanes, war birds, aircraft carriers, guns, things like this that we would not typically see. Other brands don't believe in warbirds, war characters, guns and stuff. It's rare that you'll see even a gun with the biggest brand.
Yeah.
Okay, you might see an occasional musket, an occasional gun.
In movie,
it's very
replica
rare.
sets.
But I gotta say, these things are sweet. Also, retractable landing gear. You wanna show them the retractable landing gear since you're better at picking it up?
Yes.
I can help you. By the way, guys, you can display these things just like you can display any other brand, but I gotta say, the thing is huge. So keep in mind, just like other kits you've built in your past, this one's probably about as big as I built when I was younger. Although the radio controlled loader is also pretty big, right?
Yes.
And the excavator.
I have a large semi that's a similar piece
Semi
count.
is pretty big, yeah. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for a Technic style kit where there's gonna be working and moving parts, there are different varieties in the brick kits, okay? So check it out, but don't worry too much when that sort of thing happens because you're gonna have that with all brick kits.
Yes.
So guys, at the end of the day, here on Brian Phillips RC, this is not RC, but it is definitely in the echelon of what we like to do, which is aircraft and aircraft oriented stuff. And we'll grab this off camera.
Yeah.
But guys, this is super cool. Thanks for building this.
Yes.
This is super cool. I didn't have the time to put it together on this one, but it is really neat. And it is really neat to see my kids succeeding at these complex models because they are not as easy to build as the young kids kits, right?
Yes.
Okay, because the smaller, simpler kits are quite a bit easier.
Yeah.
The other thing is you have to have enough strength. If you're building these, if you're a kid and you want to build this, the biggest thing I would say is getting them together can be hard because you have to actually press them together. And when you have like 40 knobs to press together, it's harder than if you have 7.
You would have compounding problems.
Yes, and that's a lot of stacked bricks,
Yes.
okay? So when you make these flat sides like this and smooth compound angles and edges and stuff, that's where you gotta make sure you get it right. So, very cool, good job. This is neat, check it out. Links in the video description below. YouTube, Brian Phillips. We're gonna open this box. All right, so it came packed well in this garbage bag-like packaging. We'll see how it goes. CH-53 transport helicopter. Interesting. This should fly very good. Well, we'll see. You guys probably already get the joke. That's all right. I'll still enjoy it. Nah. Okay, all right. So this is an Unbox build radio setup, right? Is that what this is?
Is that what this is?
What the heck? I don't think that's gonna fly very good. Okay, so this is not, well, I probably shouldn't use the word.
Yeah, I don't think you can
This is
say
made
that.
of bricks, okay, right? And this is called a, here's the brand, okay? So Rio Bricks, okay? And as you can see, we have a sweet looking, scale-ish looking helicopter, which is pretty stinking amazing. So for those of you that use the other brand, this might be something you'll enjoy. And the reason that we're bringing you this today is because I love aircraft, I always have, and I've always loved the competitive brand. But one thing I don't like about the competitive brand is that you can't get some of these amazing, look at this, it's 2,248 pieces.
Jeez.
And look at the number. If they're numbered that high, that means there's a billion different offerings. And so Let's Brick is where you can find exactly what you want. And I mean, they have everything. It's
Lots
so
of
cool.
options.
So we're gonna open this up right now and we're gonna time lapse build this thing, okay? So at the end of the day, oh, how big is it gonna be?
Oh.
We'll show you right here. It's gonna be 58 centimeters wide, about 27 centimeters tall, and about 77 long, okay? And as you can see, it's got all sorts of cool details like retracts, foldable retracts with gear doors, and then the opening back door, and of course, everything swivels, okay? So really exciting to see that. Now, obviously, we're not gonna build this whole thing live and listen to me talk about stuff the whole time, but I wanna show you how it unpackages. I wanna show you what's involved. They do say 14 plus, but that's probably more of a safety thing because there are just a lot of parts, okay?
Wow.
So I think I'm gonna actually employ some of my help for my kids because my kids also love to play with bricks. Okay, so as you can see, there's a kit number on it and a bag number, okay? So this is similar to the other competitive offerings right now. So this is number 2, and it says the same thing, 330 CH-37. Okay, so we have a nice, thick, heavy-duty quality manual. We'll look at that here in a second, but I just want to show you how everything comes out. So these are stepped. That's 9.
Actually, that's 6, I think.
Yep. Thank you. Good catch. And then we have 7. Nope, 4. That's a 4. Okay, so why don't you slide those down just a little bit? And you know, we're always complaining about piece counts here on Brian Phillips RC. Well, this is probably the opposite of that, okay? So they're 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have some decals from LetBricks. So guys, check out the links in the video description below. You can support Brian Phillips RC when you buy items like this. If we help introduce them to you and you follow the link, you'll help support us with small commissions from the companies that we work with that offer amazing products that are aviation or RC based. So LetBricks. So check out the links are going to be in the video description and you can check that out there. Now, one of the reasons that we really wanted to bring this to you is A, because we love the hobby of aviation, but B, we know that there's a million different choices you can get for your kids and a lot of them are video games. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with video games, but get your kids doing stuff like this. I learned how to do technology by building with bricks, okay? Not necessarily this brand, but let's just say bricks, okay? So I had lots and lots and lots of them, and I know my folks invested a lot of money on those bricks. Here's the thing, guys, you can spend a lot less money and still have a really high quality experience with these offerings. So please do that. Now, are they gonna be compatible with other options? There's a high probability, but let's go ahead and take a look at the manual quick. Okay, so camera crew is gonna come down here. This is normally something that men don't like doing, but reading instructions for this type of assembly is pretty obvious. Wow, holy cow.
Oh, cool.
A lot of stickers, and they look like
Those
high
look
quality
nice.
stickers. Okay, so I'll just give you an example of one right now. Okay, so it looks like these are not decals, they're just regular stickers, okay? So they look like good stickers. They're the kind you should be able to peel back off if you build a different model. But as you can see, nice, glossy, protected. So you splash a little water, it's not gonna destroy the thing. That is a sticker that's applied to the outside of that, okay? Just so you know. But as you can see, they give good, robust instruction sets, and they're gonna show you exactly how stuff goes together, okay? So just like you've experienced with other brick sets, it's gonna show you the piece counts and then how to put it together, which is pretty self-explanatory if you've ever built with bricks. Now, just keep in mind, these are large, sprawling pieces, okay? And so what's gonna happen is, you know, you get into these like 2x16s, these longer pieces, the 6x10s, you know, the big flats. And then you get in later to longer pieces, but then later into the model, you're gonna get into more of the Technic style pieces, okay, like this. And that's where you're gonna get into your real details on the model. And it's super fun, and I've always really got a kick out of it. But just look at the number of steps and the detail that they're gonna give you. That's pretty awesome. Finish assembly there. And at the end of the day, you've got a really, really cool model, okay? And so that's something that you're not gonna get necessarily with some of the competitive offerings, and that's part of the reason why I wanna bring this to you today. I've been seeing them for years and just saying, okay, but are they gonna work well? Because there are some pretty good competitive offerings from the big brands, but then there's a handful of smaller brands. And so we wanted to show you if this is gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rip up only one bag so that I can give my children a better chance at success. Now, one suggestion I do have, and this is true for most kits that are really complicated like this, because you have so many pieces, my suggestion is you open these carefully, and if you have an L-bar sealer, you can seal them back into the kit if you ever disassemble it. That would be terrible, but you can technically do it, okay? The other thing you can do is you can put these, oh, and it comes with a pry tool, a push tool. See, pretty sweet. Okay, and then it looks like, yeah, the components.
Those are even labeled.
Yep, so these ones are part bag 1-3, part bag 1-7, part bag 1-6. So let's just go these in order real quick. We'll show you exactly, see, some of the bigger ones are gonna be obviously in different sizes. Let's show you how they go together. So we have good, actually that might be a little bit better purchase than what we would have. A little bit of flex, as you can see. So there's obviously flex on other brands as well. This one just is missing a little iconic logo right there, okay? But I know the flats were one of my big complaint points when you get into the big brands. They have a nice tight seam here, and that's one of the things that's critical when you're building, because you can create that appearance of a flat face when you're ready. Okay, and then as you can see, you get into the tiny pieces. Everything feels really nice. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about that, but it seems to be pretty good. So just in order as we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then these ones came out of the package without being in the bag, probably because those smaller bags are smaller. Okay, so if we go to the 1-7, or this is 1-1 rather. But you see what I'm doing? These are clear bags. You can see that they're clearly marked, and then you can see them from the other side too, but you just have to know it's mirrored. And then you can sort these and organize these as you're building and make the assembly process easier. So if you're an adult that wants to brick, just like when you were a kid, they have done a really nice job of separating out the bags. Now, I remember as a kid, when I got kits, they were never organized nearly this much, but I never had anything, well, I probably had a few that were this big, but it would have been unusual, okay? So then let's see if this pairs up. So it says 1, 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, okay, 4, 5, then 6, then 7. So it says 1, and it says right here 1, okay? So it says 1 up there. I think that's the page number, is it?
No, that's the bag number. Your
That's the
page
bag
number is down here at the corner. Down here. At the
Okay,
bottom.
so your page number is, like Camera Crew said, 1, 2, but then this says 1. So we'd be operating from this bag, which is pretty cool. So then you have more of a modular setup. So if you have a lesser experienced builder, then you can have them have better success with a kit like this. It's gonna break them down and go into sequential order like that. Now, some of the competitive offerings obviously do that as well. That is kind of like the way things go now. But the beauty of this is that these kits are getting so amazing, and you can get tanks, you can get battleships, you can get airplanes, and the airplanes actually look like airplanes. So obviously, when this is all said and done and built, you're gonna watch the time lapse next, and the time lapse is gonna show the entire process start to finish. If we run into weird spots, there'll be a little bit of narration to just talk about a certain step. Like if we had a problem, or if a part didn't want to go together properly, or if we had a kind of a difficulty understanding the instructions, we will point that out through this build video. But if we don't, it's probably going to be very quick. It might be like a minute long or 2 minutes of time lapse, and then we'll show you the finished product in live. You know, while I'll hold it, I'll move it and show you exactly what it look like. So you can hang tight for that. So again, other ways to support Brian Phillips RC if you don't want to buy this particular product: buy radios, transmitters, airplanes, quads, VTOLs, helicopters, and even if they're just models, they're still helicopters and airplanes, which is really cool. And we have something really cool we're about ready to get started next, which is not related to this video at all, but we have done all sorts of stuff on this channel, not the least of which is overviewing just kind of our whole aerodrome that we're building here. And let's give them a look real quick at the aerodrome. If you don't know what an aerodrome is, it is basically an airport. We're building it on our own property. Right over there is going to be a giant hangar. We're getting permitted for what we're doing right now, and it's going to be super cool. So we can't wait to share it. But as you can see, if you've watched Brian Phillips RC for any length of time, we really do live this lifestyle, and we know you guys are into it too, or you wouldn't be watching. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications, because there's always new content right around the corner here, literally around that corner. That's where we stage our stuff, so you can't quite see it in our video footage. So thanks for being here. Watch the build. If you have questions, leave in the comments below. I will either answer them or have my kids help answer them too if they run into any problems. And then maybe in the near future, we'll be doing a few more of these. Don't worry, it's not gonna overtake the channel. We do a lot of different things on Brian Phillips RC, because a lot of people have RC budgets and a lot of people have other thing budgets. And the other thing I'm thinking about when it comes to these models is you can spend a pretty good amount of money on these things. This one's not super cheap, but if it was the other brand, it would be like astronomical, probably double to triple the cost. And I'm not exaggerating. You guys can verify that when you check the link to see how much it costs. But I just want to tell you something. When we do these things, these are great gift ideas for people. You're not going to probably go out and spend $1,000 on a toy airplane for your brother or your cousin or whatever, your nephew. Something like this might be a great gift idea for somebody that does like aviation and RC stuff, but then you can give a little something to do. Good winter project. Of course, here it is. We're doing it in spring, but that's just kind of the way it goes. So, all right, hopefully we answered all your questions. And like I said, the other ways to support us are Patreon for monthly support. We appreciate you being Patreons. And then YouTube members, if you want to be a monthly supporter, but you don't want to be on the Patreon platform, we get that. Both of them are about the same for us. The YouTube platform is a little bit more expensive, just so you know, by a factor of 2. And then YouTube Super Thanks, kind of same thing, same price structure. They keep 30%, in case you're wondering. And then if you don't like that, we have PayPal for one-time donations, as well as P.O. Box for checks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the best way to support Brian Phillips RC is watch videos, smash the like button, come back, interact, have conversations with us. And obviously when you find something you really enjoy and like, buy it, because then that helps us to get new product to put on here, because the content comes and it keeps us, you know, bringing stuff to you guys, our market, okay? So that's the best way you can support us. And we really appreciate you guys. If you're a long-term Patreon supporter, you know that we really do appreciate you, because we talk a lot, and so that's good. So thanks for being there. And same thing with members. We appreciate you guys being there too.